defenders, I think, is like.
Oh, we finally got there in the end, man. I hope everyone can hear me. People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning in each and every time. Happy Monday to those of you people. As usual, hope you all had a good weekend. Hope you all had a fantastic last week. Hope you're all prepared this week to go aggressively for your goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations, people. If we're not trying to accomplish anything in life or overcome hardship, then what are we living for? So, yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night where you lot are concerned on that topic. Hope everybody's well and safe. Hope everyone's got their health, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, and all of those good things. Make sure you're following and subscribing. You're getting any talking points across. Also, I don't know, well, big up Deluded for being in the comments, but at 11:30 we go live on YouTube once again, people. So yeah, be great to join, to see you all there. Please, if you can't be there, just hit the like button and do what you can for the engagement. I knew I felt a bit, I don't want you lot to imagine this, but definitely your baby mums can. I knew I felt a bit naked. That's because the banner isn't here now. I haven't streamed, well, I didn't stream yesterday, and it feels like I've been gone for a year, people. I can't lie. It wasn't even an enforced break. I can't even lie, man. I was just knackered after football. I slept. I was feeling a bit ill, having headaches, still got a bit of a banging headache as well, obviously off the back of the night before. You know, good, as I said, good morning, folks. Big up yourselves. Big up everyone locked in. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Any talking points and questions, don't feel any sort of way in relation to the schedule. Please make sure you're checking your Twitch schedules and you're setting reminders. Same goes for YouTube with the vids. 4 p.m. I'm going live and we're talking, well, we're playing Football Manager, really. And between now and then and the next live stream, I'm going to see if I can actually download the license kits, man. Yeah, and I told you that I was just getting some water before I joined. Big up DG, long day at work, so I'm keen to unwind and tune in. How's everything? How's everything? Everything's good, man. It's obviously you're in Australia, so your day is gone. Our day's just started. I've been up since quarter past 5. Just looking through the financial markets and things like that, writing down goals that I want to achieve for the week, contextualizing the week ahead. I think it's a busy week because it's Arsenal, Liverpool, trying to see who I can get for collabs. Still waiting on James Redmond to reply. It might just have to be a phone call thing and not a WhatsApp one, but it is what it is. Shout out to you, P Mav. C, I appreciate that. Jessa, I appreciate that. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Now, as you lot know, it's a slow day where football is concerned, people. There isn't too much going on in the market, but there are little ones and twos and bits and pieces that we can go over right as after I finished what I'm doing here, people. Yeah, that's that. In the last sort of minutes before I've come online, I've seen that Arsenal want to sell Nicolas Pepe. Allegedly, we have to say, because we don't know. DANI ALVES is returning to obviously Barcelona, and there's all of those sort of things. So let's actually crack on, see where we get on, and all of those sort of things, people. And wherever we land is where we land, really, in it, really and truly. So let's make that 16:45. Let's copy and paste that to the top. If you haven't seen, or if you didn't know, one of the worst kept emergent secrets in the last few days really has been the Norwich job. It came down to Lampard and Dean Smith allegedly, and I say allegedly because I don't know. Allegedly, Frank Lampard turned it down. Personally, I thought Lampard would have turned it down with the Rangers job in question, and I think that would have been a good move for him. He'd definitely be punching. It looks like they're going for Van Bronckhorst, so it looks like he has no chance of doing such. So yeah, Dean Smith, Lampard's turned it down. Dean Smith, again, they say, after you finish one relationship, you shouldn't jump back in. But in his case, he thinks the best medicine is to have a new wife, really. The romance was done with Aston Villa. He's entered a new relationship with Norwich. While there's a lot of romance around starting a new job and all of those things, that romance is gone because Norwich are in a dogfight to stay in the division. We know Dean Smith has got Aston Villa promoted, so maybe Norwich it's not just a short term. It's not just you have to keep us in the league or you're gone. Maybe he goes down like Daniel Farker, to be fair, get that luxury. You go down. You go. I can't lie, P Mav, you put me off with your comment, but yeah. you know, you go down, long-term replacement, you help them get back up, similar to what I feel could be the case if Newcastle were to go down under Eddie Howe in terms of long-termism. Now, again, Dean Smith, to get a relegation on your CV, if it does happen to go getting fired from Aston Villa, it don't look good. Obviously, he's got a steady pair of hands. He knows the league. He's gone through the Championship. He's got a bag of experience. He's worked and developed good players. Like, you know, he's helped Watkins. You know, Dean Smith isn't a mug. He's a very good manager, in my opinion. But again, I do Norwich have the damn right quality to stay up? I don't think so. You just have to go and look at Daniel Farke's comments, really. But yeah, anyways, people, it's been officially announced. Norwich City is delighted to confirm the appointment of Dean Smith as the club's new head coach. Dean Smith has put pen to paper on a 2-year deal and will be joined in Norfolk by assistant coach Craig Shakespeare. As you know, his Villa contract was torn up, obviously, while Gerrard's gone there. We all know that Dean Smith and his coaching staff were at Aston Villa. You know, they've got to a league final before losing. You know, he's helped them get promoted. He done good things, but it was the end of the cycle, people. So again, for Norwich, apologies. They've got a wealth of experience. You know, you've got Dean Smith, you've got Craig Shakespeare, who is a 30 coach in his own right. So that's what, and that might be the new managerial bounce. What did Farke say? And Farke openly said he ain't got quality. The level of players aren't quality. Like, he said that he ain't good enough, really, to a degree. He didn't draw them out, but he said it the other day. So from man's being honest, what could you really say, bro? Really and truly. Big up my brother DG. Much love from the US. Appreciate you, my guy. You know, I hope you're doing well and safe. He only didn't get relegated because he had Grealish and of a VAR cock up. Not sure what the second part means, but don't know, my guy. Smith has said it's been a whirlwind 7 days. I am pleased to be back and working for Norwich City in the Premier League. Clearly, there has been some wonderful work that has gone into this football club over the last 4.5 years. It is now the job of myself and Craig to continue and improve on that work, with ultimately the aim of surviving in the Premier League. Norwich City is a big club with a massive hardcore of supporters who are following, understanding in what it means to be part of the club and its community. I was brought up in an era when Norwich were competing in Europe, apologies. I remember those times well, and whenever I visited Carrow Road in Norwich, you could really sense the connection between the fans, staff, and players. Together, we all have to make Carrow Road a really tough place for visiting teams. I mean, the new managerial bounce could be something, really. And, you know, he's aced his job interview. It's like, you know, when you go for a job interview and you refer about the company and you remember a couple of sentences to stay, to remember. I mean, I think he's aced the job interview. From the age of 16, I've been working in football. I think in that time, I've had 4 months out and didn't really enjoy it. It's great to get straight back into a club that are determined to be progressive. And he's got a bit of the Arsene Wenger bug about him, is that you don't really know too much away from football, which is a gift and a curse. I've always worked to improve and develop players. With that, obviously, comes improved performances. I was really impressed with the idea, structure, and vision that is already in place at the club. I've already been impressed with the work Stewart has done at Huddersfield, both Huddersfield and Norwich. He is someone I've known for a while. A lot of my background has been working with sporting directors at both Brentford and Villa. It's an important relationship, and I'm sure we'll work well together. So obviously, you know, on top of him knowing the heritage of Norwich, his experience, you know, his backroom staff, you know, the fact that he's been promoted from the Championship so he can deal with relegation and a rebuild, obviously trying to stay in the league, and he thinks he's the best one. He knows Norwich's history. He's worked with people at Norwich before, and he knows of their work. It's all painting a picture, better yet, as to how he's got this job and why they've gone for him. We are delighted to have appointed Dean as our new head coach. I've admired his work for some time, and he has been a long-term target in the event that we had needed to appoint a new head coach. Dean has an outstanding track record, and as soon as he made it clear that he was ready to go straight back into a managerial role, we contacted him immediately. He shares the same values and visions as the club, has a proven track record of winning games in the Premier League, as well as developing players and building a winning culture mentality. It does develop players. I might be hitting below the belt, but if he had a proven track record of winning games, he might still be Aston Villa gaffer, but fair play. In Craig Shakespeare, we have secured an assistant head coach with an outstanding reputation and vast experience within the game. We are delighted that Craig agreed to join our new team. We look forward to working with Dean and Craig and building on the outstanding, apologies people, it's early, outstanding work which has been achieved at this club in the last few years. There are huge challenges ahead, but we are excited and determined to see how far we can continue to grow as a club on and off the field. So make of that what you will, people. Leave. You know, it is what it is. Dean Smith has a job. I wouldn't want to get fired twice. Man said it's a matter of when, not if, with Norwich. Again, that's true as well. Facts, and more facts, really. Farker wasn't playing Cantwell Gilmore and sitting back instead of what what he did in the championship. Ralph Farke with all the smoke. Yeah, he drew them out, man. Dean Smith really did his research, man. Really did his research, and you have to respect it. And to be fair with you, I don't know about you lot, but who would you have preferred, him or Lampard? Because on one hand, it's Lampard, innit? Like, obviously, the fact that it's Lampard and all them things will wear off. But I just think Lampard could galvanize, man. He get Gilmore playing good football. I think Dean Smith will get it. Will play Gilmore a lot more, to be honest with you, really and truly. And if not, John McGinn needs to put in a favour on behalf of his young fellow Scotsman with Dean Smith. Call his old manager and tell him stop messing about. Obviously, he's got, he's shown he can work with players. There's a number of particularly young English ones he could work with. I don't think Norwich stay in the league. I really don't. I think you look at the whole league from about 13th, 14th to 20th, all them teams there in a relegation battle. Again, I don't know what's going to happen with Newcastle, but I think the only assurances you can give is that Norwich are down. I don't think Norwich have the quality. They have got a good manager. I just don't think they have the quality to stay in the Premier League. I just don't think the players are levels. The Pookie thing, he's looking legged. Couple players look half decent. The rest just aren't levels, really and truly. It's just the harsh reality. It's just you're gonna do the yo-yo club thing. I believe in miracles, why not? But reality is Norwich have a minus 21 goal difference, sit on 5 points. It's not better for Newcastle because they're level on points with Norwich. So as much as we're focusing on Norwich, what does that say about Newcastle? Newcastle on 5 points in 19th. Norwich, as I said, are 20th. You've got Burnley in 18th with 8 points. Now, I can't lie, with respect to Newcastle, don't mind Norwich going down. Definitely want Burnley to go down. Would like Newcastle to climb out. But as I was saying, mathematically, there's nothing in the table, really. You could probably say Southampton from 13th are involved. Well, sorry, Leicester from 12th place are involved because they're only a point ahead of Southampton. There's only 10 points separating really and truly 11th, where Everton is, from 20th. I would say realistically, slightly Southampton in 13th, but 14th to 20th for me, or you could say 30th to make it easier, 13th to 20th. I think that's a mini relegation league in the same way I think the top three, which now consists of West Ham, they're in their own league. And then, you've got three leagues. You've got the relegation battle. You've got one big league, and I think you've got three mini leagues. You've got trying to win the league, you've got trying to qualify for the Champions League, you've got Champions League / Europa, then you've got the relegation candidate. So again, this is why I don't try and read too much into the league table, because until January, it's not going to normalize. 2 wins, you're on task, 2 defeats, you're below. It's going to keep chopping and changing and things, and it's down for every club to just focus and from now until January, and then that's where you get to see what everybody's really on, in my humble opinion. I don't think the table matters at this moment in time. So the table does not matter until Jan. One love to everybody tuned in. As you know, at 11:30 we're going live again, people. I'll drop the link in there again. If you can't be there, make sure you hit the like button and all of those good things, people. Every like is appreciative and things like that. You never know. It's hard to say. It's just, you never know. It's just hard to see. I think you meant to say Norwich winning the game. It's not even that. It's that. It's the old habits. It's managerial bounce could make Norwich go up the table, pick up results. But when you get past that, it's a bit of a myth, really. Like, you're gonna need a bit more, and maybe it's just too much. I think Dean Smith is seasoned. He definitely has a big chance of changing things and finding more stability and whatnot. But I don't think they score enough goals. They clearly don't keep enough clean sheets. If you're conceding more than you're scoring, you're probably not winning that many games, innit? Football's a simple game. I just don't think they've got it. The experienced players aren't quite good enough. They've got young and naive players. They're not a bad bunch, but I just think it's done, really and truly. As I said, minus 20. You need a lot. You got minus 21 goal difference. That's assuming that Norwich are going to turn into a great defense overnight. You've got minus 21. You got 5 points, and in the same way goals win you games, defense wins you league titles, and strikers win you games and things like that. So it doesn't matter if you're challenging for the league. It doesn't matter if you're challenging for the league, if you're trying to stay in the division, if you're trying to qualify for get a top 10 finish, top 6, top 4, you need a defense in it. you need a defense and you need people that could score goals. Norwich haven't got a defense. Who scores goals? And when you look at them in comparison to their relegation candidates, you look at Newcastle. Newcastle struggle to score goals, so you're immediately in trouble. Burnley, by God's grace, they go down. They're in trouble. Where's the goals coming from at Watford? Villa, you know, they've got a decent team, but where's the goals coming from? Leeds haven't had the best of seasons. You know, I'm just saying this to paint a picture. Where's the goals coming from? Brentford, again, a lot of a lot of Ivan Toney hype. A lot of things have normalized where Brentford are concerned. People, you know, they're the best. Everyone in their nan say they're the best team in the world. But now look, man said Delilah Smith on the AV at halftime once again. Hey man, I don't even think the passion merchant thing is saving them, man. But, you know, we all like underdog stories. You know, I would like to see Norwich make a real meal of it, but it's like I can't see how you're gonna get to 40 points. You know, you at least need 15 points before Christmas. Can you see that for Norwich? Big man thing, can you see that for Norwich? They're on 5 points, 11 games played. Assuming no one else above them pick, because now they need a lot to go down where other teams are concerned. It's not just them now. Obviously, if they was to, in theory, win every game from now to the end of the season, they stay up. But you need to win games. Probably it's even more of an emphasis on keeping clean sheets and scoring goals. Now you need a lot to happen elsewhere. And out the teams above them, who really is going to get drawn out into this relegation race? You know, Leeds are moving mad. A couple teams are moving mad. But I could only really say with my chest on, I could see bare teams could fall into the relegation zone. But I could only see Watford getting truly drawn out. Like my guess is Burnley sneak out of that, creep up the table a little bit, and then it will probably be Watford, Newcastle, Norwich. And again, I would like Burnley to therefore go down. Would like Newcastle to get out of it, but it's looking a madness, isn't it? And if we look at the next couple fixtures, you know, Norwich have Southampton at home, need to get something in that. After that, they've got Wolves, need to do something in that. Then they've got Newcastle away on the 30th of November. That's a 6-pointer. So it's brazy. Then they've got Spurs on the 5th of December. Then they got United after that game. Then they've got Villa. But it's not easy for Norwich at all. You know, there's no easy games in the Prem. Then they got West Ham after that. Well, Norwich are done, man. Norwich are gone, man. You know, Norwich are gone. Like my man is saying, bro, you need to sort the goal difference out. You know, it's crazy. If you're conceding too many goals and you're not scoring any and you're not winning, then bro, this is what I mean. You've got minus whatever for goal difference. You're relying on too much. So Norwich are gone. But you know, they seem to like the fairy tale of the battle of staying in the league and the box office stuff with the relegation battle. They seem to love the glory and the romance of getting promoted and doing the yo-yo thing. In my opinion, Newcastle have more of a chance because you know their owners have said Eddie Howe's going to get backed in January. Now that's a man who made the record signing for Bournemouth. What's his face? Jordan Ibe. I don't know if Eddie Howe's track record of signings is the best, but if you're going to get helped and you think money doesn't mean anything and you can't just buy a bag of players, but at the same time, if you can spend money, Newcastle will probably do it. I just don't think I can't see Norwich bringing in Norwich. They're just gone, man. They're just gone. Like they're just gone. Yeah, bro. Battle. I gotta be non-partial. I'm impartial, man. I will say battle, but I'm selling them strong. Morning, DG and the DG Nation. Hope you're all good. I'm good. I hope everyone else is doing well. And on behalf of everyone, I hope you're also doing good, man. Again, it's a privilege to be here at 10 a.m. and 11:30 on YouTube almost every day because you lot are such a caring fan base and support network. You lot say good things. You get the engagement going. You make sure that, you know, talking points always found and things like that. I appreciate that. I'd love Newcastle to go down just for the bants. You know what? Relegation, I don't want to say it could be the best thing, but relegation for them could be good because it would force them to think more long-term and long-term stability, which in the long term is going to help them rather than quick fixes, which they're probably going to have a couple of teething problems in that regards, man. Man said Mitrovic. I don't know if you can bet on Mitrovic to score goals in the Premier League, man. Norwich owner is worth 23 million. If Lampard was appointed, he would have been worth 3 times the owner. Boy, small club syndrome in it is peak, but it is what it is. Now, again, people, away from all of that, Pepe's been linked with a move away from Arsenal. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's to read anything. Arsenal stand to lose about what? He's linked for leaving for 25 million. He's linked with leaving for 25 million. We bought him for 75, not up front, but variables that could make that. A man said, DG, if you follow the source of the Pepe news, it's a football.london article. Tom from the Guna Talk wrote it and confirmed this was on his stream this morning. So fair play to Tom, but why am I writing things they know is bullshit? That's a bit of a thingy. But for what it's worth, I can't see it in football.london. I'm actually seeing it in 442, my guy. So again, I know journalists have to get paid, but I'm a bit disappointed in Tom, someone that I've had on my channel. If he's just if he's writing articles that are nonsense for the sake of it, I hear it with engagement, but it's bullshit, really. But anyways, apparently Arsenal set to sell record signing Nicolas Pepe at a significant loss. Mikel Arteta is prepared to cut his losses on big money flop Nicolas Pepe. Bit harsh to call him a flop, extremely underwhelming, which indirectly is a flop, I guess. To be honest with you, last season it looked like he'd get clipped. That's according to reports linking the Ivorian with a move out of the club 2.5 years on from him becoming the Gunners' record signing. For me, he's contracted until 2024. So between the next 18 months, Martinelli, Pepe, Saka, you need to know what you're doing with these guys. Saka's probably in line for a new deal. Martinelli, again, he might not be playing, but you need to cover yourself in the best possible scenario. And Nicolas Pepe. So again, if in line with foresight and planning, and if this squad is to reach maturity, it's not going to get there overnight. We should have signed Tomiyasu, Ramsdale, Ben White, etc., to tie in with what we've got for a 3-4 year period. You need to be a bit proactive there. Obviously, Pepe should be the first name on the team sheet according to money spent, but he's not. You're not dislodging Saka on that right hand side. You are very much hit and miss. On the left hand side, you've got Smith-Rowe, you've got people there. Aubameyang can be shifted over there. Pepe does flatter to deceive, but I do think he's bordered on at times being a scapegoat by Arsenal fans. But he is incredibly frustrating. But I think in terms of a squad player, if I just accept that he's not going to be the talisman, I think he's all right. If you could shift him on and bring in the next man, I'd be on it. But you just have to be prepared to hold the L. We've been linked with Noah Lang previously, and we've been linked with Kulusevski. I do think Pepe at times his numbers has been some of among the best at our club. So I don't think it's always been fair, but he is incredibly frustrating. He isn't the best tactical fit. At times, he's forced his way into the team, which he needs to do again under Mikel Arteta. But he's very much hot and cold, and I think we've got too many of these sort of players. And again, at 26 years of age, he doesn't look like a 72 million pound signing standing next to Martinelli, who barely plays, or Saka. That's the harsh reality of it. So to humor this article, again, you've got Nelson out on loan, whose future is probably bleak. You've got a couple of academy prospects who can play out wide, and you've got, Martin Odegaard, who can be played in a couple of roles. Pepe is likely to attract offers from Serie A should Arsenal choose to sell. Fair play. Napoli did want him, really. So let's see what's going on here. I want a winger on the best of days. So if you sell him, you need to bring in a right winger who can play ahead of Pepe, or absolutely, push him all the way. Because I do think where it comes to Saka and Smith-Rowe, it's too easy to pick them in the team. And sometimes their form hasn't always been there. Let's scroll all the way down. We have been linked with Berardi. I just want to get to the Pepe bit. Can't see anything there about Pepe. So it just seems like it's BS and just strikes boredom, really. Let's click on this article. People, Arsenal happy to sell club record signing Nicolas Pepe for 25 million. Let me see what's still of this. Moist, really. Let's scroll the way down. Just some bullshit, really. Like, come on, man. People will click the articles if you just say such sensible stuff, really. But anyways, the sensationalized headline: Nicolas Pepe heading to Arsenal exit after 31.5 transfer link surface. I mean, you don't want to be known for clickbait, man. So all of these guys, in theory, that means all of these guys are talking about something that they just made up. Absolute muggy. But anyways, people, again, for what it's worth, I think we could cut our losses with Nicolas Pepe. I think the club potentially do want to, but it is what it is in that regards, folks, man. It's a bit moist, isn't it? Really? Like, it's a bit moist, lads. Come on. I know it's international break, but pattern up, Again, for what it's worth, I think Arteta would like to cut his losses with Pepe. I think that, they'll look to sell him in the summer. Maybe, just maybe run down his deal and all of those things. Because as much as I'm screaming squad player, it's an expensive squad player to have, really. And for Arsenal, flops happen all the time. Just hold your L with Pepe and think about things that could have went wrong. Because I think many people that truly was watching Pepe, I'm not going to say he's not a good player. I think he is. He's just not that higher echelon talisman. He's never going to be Mo Salah sort of thing, or someone along them lines. I just think if you was to watch Pepe, you would have seen, first things first, the footballing IQ isn't the highest, and there would need to be worked. Second of all, he's at that level where he needs to decide he wants to be a baller in terms of being hot and cold. Obviously, tactically, he's better when it comes to counter-attacking football. Obviously, we know what's going on with the right wing and stuff. Mentally, there has to be some question marks to put as well. And for me, it was only really the last 18 months before his Arsenal move where he was playing to a higher level. So you could see that it's part a purple patch, part he's starting to play to another level. He's not quite there yet. And if you're going to sign a man and not have the people that can take him to that level, there's an issue there. So that's that on Pepe and any bullshit that come out along with Pepe. It's a bit orcs, but it is what it is, man. And, you know, I was actually quite vexed today. I was like, what? We're going to have to speak about Pepe again. I've offered enough opinions on that, brother, but it is what it is, man. Well, she lot saying Lampard's good with the youngsters, and that should be good for Norwich. You know, if you're Max Aarons, if you're Billy Gilmore, if you're any other academy prospects, I don't know if the kids are going to keep you in the league, though. Brentford going to struggle now. Teams have figured them out. I believe so as well. You know, obviously, I like Brentford. I like what they're doing, but there was a lot of plaudits and a lot of, you know, people were just assuming they're on doing what West Ham's doing already this season or doing what Leicester typically does, and it's not necessarily the case. I think Ivan Toney's a great player, but the lack of goals is a problem for Brentford, and they do concede some cheap goals. Saying that, they will pick up a number of big points, in my opinion. So I think Brentford won't have anything to worry about being in the division this year. But you're right, teams find you out very quickly, or not even find you out naturally. They're knowing what the threats are within the team. It's crazy, man. Let me see what else you lot are saying. Keep the opinions coming and them things there, man. Man said Pepe paid 75 million for one leg. How much for the other leg? Myth. No one's paying 25 million for Pepe. Let's be real. I think that's harsh. I think you get 25 million for Pepe. I think that's about fair. I think he is at best. You know, he was a 20, 30, 40 max £1 million player. He's not a 75 million. And to be fair, credit to Leo, they swindled us. They look like they got swindled for Osimhen, but he's found his feet at Napoli. Now let's hope Pepe can do the same. At best, Pepe's gone through patches, but there's too many hot and cold players. Would you take Van der Beek at Arsenal? Yeah, but it's a myth. I think he goes missing a lot, but sometimes he's one of our better players on the pitch and he gets no credit. And when he does frustrating things, rightly so, he's attacked. I think Bellerin went through that. I think William went through it. I think whenever a player hasn't convinced, they go through getting criticized. And then for me, anyways, they go through that harsh period where you're watching games and you're listening to fans and it's like you're just doing the agenda thing. And it gets a bit toxic. His output is that of a £30 million player. Exactly, you know, and he can't control the price tag, to be fair to him. And it's not 75 million up front, but Arsenal should have never, ever, 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 ever been in that situation, you know, ever. And for me, when it comes to Saka and Pepe on the left and right, I hear what people say. Saka can only, you know, he looks better on the left. I mean, looks better on the right. Forgetting he shelled it on the left. We need wingers who can shell it down on both flanks. So I don't really buy into the Pepe and Saka thing. But for me, regardless of Saka's form, I don't think Pepe is playing well enough or anyone else is there to challenge Saka for that matter to dislodge him. Don't get it twisted. I do get sometimes Saka might be able to do a job. There might be something tactically, but I think Saka needs to stay on the right. Pepe, until something improves, you stay on the left. It's basic. It's easier for you. You know, you can go down the wing or you have to pass it. I think there's too many options on the right hand side for him. And when you've got Tomiyasu, who isn't gonna make that overlap and take a man with you, it's a myth. But saying that, I do think he can help us across the season. I just think he's a squad player, nothing more. And again, I'm not with having an expensive squad player. We didn't bring him in to be a squad player. All of these things, people. But what do you want me to say? We're at where we're at, in it. Like we're at where we're at. Sell him or use him, in it. And that goes for a lot of these players, really, because I don't think Pepe is terrible. I think you can use him. There are footballers that are on loan or whatnot at this club that I think are terrible. Would I sign another winger? Would I look to get rid of Pepe potentially? Do I think you could use him across a squad? Yeah. You know, if it's down to him, if he wants to be the first name on the team sheet, but he is a genuine option, really. I do think with Arsenal fans, there's always a crisis when one player isn't involved. We've seen it with Pepe, Laka, Odegaard, Smith-Rowe, all of these guys. It's always the one that's not involved. Their days are numbered, but it is what it is. That's Pepe. Moving away from all of that though, and getting rid of the nonsense claim, which is Pepe. And again, man, I think B said one of the great comments. I hate these kind of articles. We got Twitter for your hot takes now. It's brazy, bro. No, it was opinion article. It was never stated as facts. It was if I was Arsenal, I would sell him for 25 sort of thing. To be fair to you, does that look like an article that I would do that? Does like reading that? Does that look like that? That don't look like that. You know, look at their headline. The man has said Pepe is heading for the exit, said that he's struggled to establish himself, spoken about Saka and Smith-Rowe's emergence. You know, Arsenal's been linked. Doesn't seem like much of an opinion to me. Like, it doesn't, I'm not even trying to get at Dons, but it doesn't seem, you know, doesn't seem much of an opinion. And at the end, there was an even cheeky plug towards another article, and I assume a YouTube vid. Now, again, I'm not getting at people. It's just, bro, man, gotta keep it trill, man. Just there's no need for that in it. Like, what's the point making bullshit rumors? But anyways, away from that nonsense, I respect it. But well, I don't respect it. But everyone's got to get paid in it, so it is what it is. That don't seem like an art. That is not an opinion article. You know, I haven't seen, in my opinion, Pepe should sell. We should sell Pepe because of this. This is whatever in it. But away from all of that and get a moving on. Obviously, we've spoken about Norwich. What else is there? You know, Man United. Ten Hag has spoken, and they've also been linked with Zidane. So let's cover that where United are concerned, people. Man said Zidane / Ten Hag. Let's see what's going on with that. What minute are we on? 43:40 will be the first timestamp. Obviously, because when this gets uploaded on YouTube, you can't say I didn't look after you lot, people. But who do you want to start with? I'm sure the Zidane rumor is probably just a bit better, really and truly. But let's start with Ten Hag, to be fair with you, because I think he's played very coy, not just on staying at Ajax or necessarily joining United or Newcastle, but just, you know, just playing very coy. And I think it's not going to be in here, but he spoke about data. It was very refreshing to hear how his approach as a manager. But Ten Hag has broken his silence, people. And if it lets me scroll down, he said he's fully committed to his current role at Ajax. Scrolling all the way down, the 51-year-old went on to say, I live in the present, so I find it hard to answer this. Now, if a man says I live in the present, what does that tell you? I'm happy at the moment with Ajax. There could be many happier moments, but I am open to maybe managing Man United, one of the biggest clubs in the world and the biggest club in England, you know, helping them with the rebuild. You know, I am interested to see what Newcastle have to say. I'm interested to see what other European clubs have to say. I feel maybe similar to a lot of these Ajax players, I might have reached the end of a cycle, because obviously Ajax is a selling thing, really and truly. A couple years ago, it was a Van der Beek, you know, De Ligt, Ziyech, all of these guys. Now you look around at their squad. Anthony, I don't know if he'll move in the summer, but he'll get a move. Gravenbeck will get a move. You know, Timber might get a move. Couple of players at Ajax might get a move, and he might want to eat. As a manager, you're no different. With respect to Ten Hag, I very much doubt he wants to be at Ajax his whole life. He said, I live in the present, so I find it hard to answer this. I always want to improve my team, and as long as I feel this motivation, I want to keep going if Ajax wants that too. He was then asked on his relationship with people. He said, I have a very good relationship with the board, and I'm managing a very strong squad. And actually, there was more than that, really. You know, this is the article with Ten Hag again on goal.com. Scrolling all the way down. He said the conditions, and he said, I'm happy at Ajax. I can work there in a good way. The conditions and the climate are good management and very nice staff. And not to forget, I have a very good group of players, which is also flexible. Fair play. He's contracted until 2023. So again, I would imagine someone that's doing good things for Ajax, they would have attempted to renew his deal and things like that. But that tells you at the end of the season, something might change. And as I've said before, if I was Ten Hag, you can't turn down some of the jobs you've been, you know, when they come for you, you've got to go. But me personally, I would genuinely want to ride the wheels of the Ajax train or project for this season until the wheels fall off. I'm not sure where they're at in the league, but in the champs, it looks like they're doing all right. And they might, I don't know about going to finals and things, but they might shock people. Now, such is life. They might get battered in the next knockout stages, but he clearly wants to finish my work, and then I'll do what I'm doing. And you know, it's now or never. You know, again, Ajax might get a compensation package at the end of the season. I's are being dotted, T's are being crossed from now. And I don't know if it will be United or Newcastle. He might sign a renewal. My bet is he keeps it moving, really. That sounds like a man that's going to keep it moving come the end of the season, if I'm completely honest with you guys. What's going on here? Where's the Zidane? Zidane's also been, sorry, people. Zidane's also been linked with the job once again, which I'm trying to, I had the article here. Don't know where it's gone. But we've heard previously he doesn't want the Man United job and all of this sort of stuff, and he's waiting for France and the rest of it. I mean, Zidane, obviously, you've got Pogba there. Assuming Pogba stays, you know, you've got a bunch of, you've got Cristiano Ronaldo there. You've got everything, man. You've got everything you could want as a manager. You've got unlimited checkbook as well. You've got a fallen giant. To say you managed Real Madrid and Man United, if you achieve success at Man United, to say you won stuff at Man United and Real Madrid, bro, what? Zidane's CV speaks for itself. I think Zidane's a bit disrespected in football, because again, he ain't Pep necessarily. Is that in me as an ignorant fan? I don't have Zidane down as a mad style of player and all of this, but for me, the way, it's not that people don't rate, but considering this man's won X amount of Champions Leagues, no matter if he had Ronaldo or not, to win it the amount he did, what, 4 times or something like that, ridiculous. 3, 4 times. I could be wrong. You know, you have to give a man respect. You don't do that easily, really and truly. Apparently, Man United have reportedly made a final decision on the future of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Admit claims that Zidane has made his feelings clear on a potential vacancy at Man United. Scrolling all the way down, trying to see what is said. We know Brendan Rodgers is on an alleged shortlist. Real Madrid allegedly haven't entered talks. I mean, Man United haven't entered talks with Zidane, but apparently a trusted Italian journalist also claims Zidane has no desire to accept the job midway through the season. Furthermore, any job he would have, any job he takes would have to have been taken during the summer, so he can put his new changes through pre-season. Apparently, Zidane is, however, willing to consider the France job if that were to become available. Apparently, he has no interest in taking over at Old Trafford right now, so that's poured, you know, hot water on that. And apparently, Man United, for what it's worth, still retain faith in their trusted Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So again, boy, I think he gets clipped at the end of the season. Maybe, I don't know, United fans or neutrals, you might say maybe United missed a great opportunity not going for Conte, and because of that one, there just simply isn't, at least to us fans, any name brand sort of targets on up for debate, really and truly. Where else, man? How can Zidane win 3 Champions Leagues in a row and be out of work for this long? I think because he's free. Yeah, so you're right with free. He's chosen to. He's probably chosen to not do this thing. Like, he's chosen to not take another job, really and truly. He said it's the first time it's happened to him. I'm just relaying what he said. He's chatting shit. It's not the first time, bro. Like, that ain't that. If we criticize footballers, whether I know him or not, you're chatting shit. Like, there's no, where did you get that Pepe stuff? Like, you just be honest, man. I'm chatting shit, really, and you don't want to be known for that. But anyways, Zidane, Ten Hag, Brendan Rodgers, who would you take? Oof. They've all got their different plus points. I think, in terms of the man management and the elite level stars and just making them feel good and pause and not causing any dramas, I think Zidane's perfect at that. I think I'm excited with what Ten Hag does. I think with what he does with young players and things, I think he'd probably be the best choice if it was for Arsenal. Brendan Rodgers, again, his man management's probably improved, but he's rubbed me up the wrong way after how he treated Raheem Sterling and the stuff he used to leak to the press, which, if you speak to right people, he did. It was quite nasty. So yeah, it's an even one. For Arsenal, I'd probably say Ten Hag first, because he ties a bit more into our remit. Then again, for Arsenal, Brendan Rodgers, because he ties into our remit. Zidane, I would love Zidane, but again, I can see his patience running extremely thin. He's used to working with the best. Yeah, I can't lie. There's nothing to be taken out of context, bro. Like, you made the headline. That would you expect people to do, man? You've got a duty to present things in the right way. Anyways, he's not getting the game time worth 25 mil. His name is through the mud right now, and he'd be worth 10 to 15 right now without the game time cap. You get at least 20, but fair play. Pepe was shelling it on the left towards the end of last season. I think if we're playing in Europe, he'd be there for the Europa League games. Facts, but unfortunately, we're not. So he's going to have to just work hard in training, pull his pants up, and see if he can do a thing, people. Obviously, England play today, folks, and I hope that, Ramsdale gets his first start, and I hope Smith-Rowe also gets an opportunity to start, people. And obviously, they all return home safe. I'm seeing Tierney nutmegging, man, and he's looking in top form. Apparently Gareth Southgate is in talks to sign a new deal, and I have my question marks whether he's the guy to truly develop young talents and things. But I understand why. He's come through the FA system. He talks the talk. He looks the part. He probably doesn't cause any problems. One thing I do admire about Southgate, You know, I don't praise people for speaking about racism, especially when you probably should, but he's never been afraid to speak about that. He has pulled to, you know, I do like the togetherness of the players. Question marks over the system, the players he calls up, how he utilizes players, and a lot. But I can't argue with facts. He's got a semi-finals and he's got a final in terms of the World Cup and the Euros. So I can't say this isn't the man to take England into the next tournament. Is it my first choice? Probably not. His new deal is set to expire after next year's World Cup into Qatar, so maybe it's a bit too early to speak of new deals. But for what it's worth, anyways, people, Gareth Southgate is expected to sign a new contract extension, a new 2-year deal as England manager. It will take him through to the Euros in 2024, which is in Germany. Again, under Southgate, you know, semi-finals of the World Cup in 2018 and the Euros final. So again, I can't really complain. He said after beating Albania on Friday, we need a point. We're not done yet. It would be wrong for my attention to be anywhere else but that. My job is to get this team into a World Cup, and then we can look at everything else after that. And I think Wales and Scotland are in a playoff. It isn't quite there for Portugal. They're in a playoff. You know, Spain have made it. A couple of other nations have made it as well. I watched a good game between Switzerland and Italy. Jorginho missed another penalty. Southgate said, it's an irrelevance for me. I'm under contract. I'm not out of contract. I'm very well supported here. I've just said all along, my focus is just getting this qualification done and everything else can wait. He then went on to say he's got fabulous players, etc., etc. So that's that with Gareth Southgate and potentially signing a new 2-year deal as England gaffer, which again, I can't say it's not deserved. I can have my quick question marks over him. I also want to say that you know, the PSG player Diallo, she's been released by police from police custody in line with what was happening there. I think the news agencies that were so quick to condemn her could do half a job of actually, all right, cool, just letting out known that you got to remain impartial and things like that. Apparently, Kevin De Bruyne supports the idea, folks, of a biannual World Cup, which, you know, it's kind of gone against the grain. I do welcome different trails of thought. I do think, like with the Super League, you have to have a degree of open-mindedness and not just do this emotional thing, really and truly. Really, because I'm more open to the Super League. I think when I looked at some of the legitimate concerns of the Premier League and Champions League clubs and what they proposed, there is a good base for a Super League in general. I'm not going to sit here and lie. You know, there is legitimate concerns. I think everyone was right to be concerned about it, but when you looked at it, there actually was a lot of exciting things. And I just don't have any loyalty to the Premier League, to any of these governing bodies, all of these clubs, because they're all just fat cats trying to swindle us as fans and trying to actually swindle players. Players get paid pennies. Do you think a player is going to get paid 300 grand a week if a club isn't making 10 times that? Well, how are they going to be in a position to do that? No matter how much Ronaldo gets at Manchester United, Man United are never going to give him that if they can't make more of that. You know, it's not making sense, really and truly. I do believe Southgate has what it takes to get England a title. Hopefully, man. You know, I would love Saka to win a trophy under Southgate, so why not? But I don't believe in him in it. But that's just me. I don't believe in him long term. But Kevin De Bruyne says FIFA's proposal for a biannual World Cup not a bad idea. And this is one of the top level sportsmen where you're going to play all them irrelevant club and country fixtures that are friendlies. You're going to be competing in the champs. You're going to, you know, there's bare football being played anyway. So I don't know. He said the idea isn't bad in itself as long as everyone works together. This is Kevin. He said, at the start of the season, I had a meeting with FIFA and Wenger explained to us what they wanted to do. To do something like that, federations of all countries, UEFA and FIFA have to coordinate. They don't want to. UEFA have already started threatening, man. Everyone has to work together. I insist on the second point. I told them they had to keep a real period of rest for us, the players, at the end of the season. The idea isn't bad in itself as long as everyone works together. And obviously, it's met a lot of opposition. Some federations are more open for it than others. So, yeah, it depends what's going to be thrown up in that regards, people. But I don't think it's a good idea necessarily. I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea, if I'm honest with you. So that's that. But I think that takes us to the end. We'll look at transfers in a second, people. Is what it is. What else are we seeing in the comments? One love to you lot. They came through on the Debo ting 100%. They tried to do it in it. Well, they did it in a sus way. That's the only thing. And like I said, there's some things you could strip out, some things you could strip in. I do think you will see a Super League, man. And it's like my man said here, Super League made sense, but the way they went about it is all wrong. Swear they didn't come out with chess. Discussions would have been had. And to me, the only thing I disagree is the timing in it. I don't think they just come on, bro. We know football clubs. It to us fans, it was a bit slapdash. They threw it on us, and I don't know, maybe there was a bit inexperience. But do we think clubs with that care about money, where these little money men, they haven't had mad, indirect stress tests, mad research going on? This has been there for years, and it ain't gone away. Right now, they're probably in the background working on it and revitalizing things. It's only that, for me, anyways, I think only the fan backlash made a difference. The worldwide fans, and that was a very emotive response. If they was to coordinate it a different way, I think man are on it. I don't think we've seen it. I think the Champions League has to remodel in it. I do think that. So I do think we're going to see changes. And I do think we're in a scary time. Like, I do think you're going to see mad World Cups, every 2 years. You're going to see literally, managers go out on loan. You're going to see from team 1 to 20th can win the league or go down. You're going to see football that we grew up on is dead, people. It's gone. Like, it's gone. Like, it's getting mad. It's getting mad, in my opinion. Southgate saying Keane just wants to be relevant. Probably does, Keane does say mad stuff. I don't think Keane was wrong with what he said about Harry Maguire, and I don't think Harry Maguire is wrong to celebrate. DG on Chelsea, I feel people have slept on the fact that we've had Lukaku, Werner, Mount, Pulisic, Kante, Kovacic, Aspilicueta all injured this season, and we are top of the league. Madness when you deep it. Ross Barkley started last week, and against Chelsea are doing. I don't think anyone's sleeping on Chelsea. I think everybody is saying it's you, Liverpool, and Man City for the league. But again, injuries are part and parcel. I'm not really going to praise a team that's competing in the Champions League and all of these things for having injuries and coping with it, because I get quite peed off when Arsenal do that, because you should have a squad big enough. Yes, injuries are harsh, but they're part and parcel, and a team like Chelsea knows that. But at the same time, that's serious togetherness, really and truly. So I wouldn't say anyone's sleeping on it. I personally give Chelsea their plaudits, and everyone in my reality does the same. But yeah, I can't really praise players for stepping up when people are injured or having a squad fit enough to deal with things. It is weird how you start struggling, not struggling to score goals, but scoring bare goals. Now Lukaku's out the team. And I know the way he might slow down the football and things like that is an issue, but he scores goals. And I don't want to say I told you so, but I said this Lukaku thing at Chelsea, he will score goals, but the same things are going to remain, really and truly. Maguire said he doesn't listen to critics, then does a celebration for them. Well, there you have it, innit? There you have it. If Lukaku and Werner don't come back firing, Chelsea will fall. Goals from their defenders will drop. Unsustainable. Therefore, less goals, less points. It's good logic. Super League is still on, by the way. Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus are still in it, and Perez is still adamant that it will happen. And I said the Premier League are not invited since they're pussies. Boy, big up G1, man, just saying DG. I appreciate that. Interesting comments, people. And again, people, do not forget 11:30, we're going live again. However, that's going to be on YouTube. I'm going to be back here at 4 p.m. That's to play Football Manager with you guys again. Yesterday was the first time in years we didn't. And on that as well, if you can't wait till then, I think at 1 p.m. I've got a Football Manager video scheduled as well, where obviously Maitland-Niles was moving mad. Couple really. I need to cut up the last 2 live streams into 1 hour things and make thumbnails and put them out. The work's mad. All the work I do for you, look. We need another backlash if this comes back to light, even the media. To be fair, I'm on the Super League. I won't lie to you. Do you think PSG will terminate Ramos's contract? Not really. Not that I know. Can't see it. But again, the man's not playing and he doesn't seem to be fit. So maybe something could happen there. But I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't think so. I need Zidane rumors to United, DG, Oli out, fam. I hear that. I do hear that. Oli is sickening that Oli's still there. Obviously, away from all of that as well, folks. Dani Alves is returning to Barcelona, the best fullback in the game ever. Returns to Barca, and obviously, I can't lie. I don't know how it's gonna work because all you had to do is watch the Olympics. Dani Alves' legs are gone. He can stay further forward. He can't get back. But in terms of knowing the club, being about, obviously, Alves probably. I wouldn't be surprised if he steps into management indirectly. When I say management, that could be coaching or whatever. He's returned people. For what it's worth, FC Barcelona and Dani Alves have reached an agreement in principle for the player to join the football first team for the remainder of the current season. The Brazilian will be joining training from next week, but will not be able to play until January. boy. So again, until January, he's just going to be a voice in and around the dressing room, remembering what Barcelona's about. And to be fair, at 34 years of age, you can't expect him to be a main player. The club will announce the full details at his official presentation as new FC Barcelona manager, player, sorry. And for me, it's a bit of a shame. I swear you can be a free agent and sign and sign a deal at any time, or is La Liga a bit different? They need special permissions and things. And I know Barcelona's finances, it probably means they need to sell before they can buy. But nonetheless, he's returned, innit? We've already read that. Who's actually qualified for the World Cup? I mean, I was actually just reading this article, but I might as well scroll down and try and see who's actually qualified. In terms of who's qualified for the World Cup so far, Qatar's the host nation. Germany, Denmark, Brazil, France, Belgium, Croatia, Spain, and Serbia. And you also Jotovic, the tennis player, I can't even say his name, but you saw how he was celebrating all mad for his country, Serbia. It was crazy. So they're the teams that have qualified already. In relation to the playoffs, the World Cup playoffs will take place from the 24th of March to the 29th, with 10 group runners-up joined by the 2 best group winners from the 2020/21 Nations League overall ranking that have neither qualified as group winners nor entered the playoffs already as group runners-up. These 12 teams will be drawn into 3 playoff paths for one off semi-finals and a final. The 3 path winners will qualify for the World Cup. And in relation to the groups, you've got some tasty fixtures there, people. I'm not even gonna lie, or teams better yet. You know, Group A, you've got Portugal, Serbia, Republic of Ireland, Luxembourg, and Azerbaijan. Group B, you know, again, I swear Spain have qualified, so I'm not sure this makes much sense. What is all of this? Do you lot make sense of this, people? Spain have qualified, but for what it's worth, you know, look, who has qualified? Qualified nations, Spain's there. How does the playoffs work? We've already read that. The groups, and I think the teams highlighted are the playoff brothers. So again, you've got Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and you would have Portugal. Again, I know Portugal have got I don't know why they're not highlighted, but it is what it is. Group A, Ronaldo's Portugal into the playoffs, as you lot seen, people. They lost to Serbia, but they're through to the playoffs. Republic of Ireland finished as the best of the remainder of the group, beating Luxembourg to secure 3rd spot. So that's brazy. Spain secured top spot in their qualifying. As you can see here, Spain, Sweden, you know, Italy versus Switzerland was quite a game, people, but Italy still remain undefeated and take 15 points, level with Switzerland. France qualified as well, as you can see. You know, Wales are into the playoffs. It's up to them, really, what Wales want to do. You know, Scotland are in a playoff spot. You know, Scotland are probably going to bottle it, which I would like Teeny to be there. Holland are closing in, people. They need just a point from their final game on Tuesday. However, if Norway were to beat Holland and Turkey win, then the Dutch would finish 3rd in the group and miss out on another major tournament. Boy, you know, Croatia have edged Russia to qualify. It's all, you know, it's all in the balance, really and truly. You know, England have gone through, of course, as well. We've dealt with, let's be honest, a relatively easy group, with the exception of Portugal. Should be wiping the floor with these teams. Germany, who Musiala, Karim Adeyemi, Florian Wirtz, and a bunch of other young players, going to see what they're on. And I think Euro 2024, I think Germany are going to be back, if I'm honest with you, because all these players will probably hit for maturity. So yeah, you could see all of that, people. So yeah, man, it's a sticky one, a very, very sticky one. World Cup opinions. Let's leave it at that. Leave that as an open thumbnail. Oh, open timestamp. Sorry. Hope Norway make it. They play tomorrow, but they play Holland. Group G is tight. The Netherlands can't catch a break. Scotland, Denmark, best game tonight, in my opinion. Probably the most evenly matched game. DG, would you take Wilshere back since he's training with Arsenal to regain his fitness? If we're that desperate and we're not going to bring in people, then we need to do what we can, man. You can sign at any time, but can't be registered as a player till the transfer window opens. I'm not sure that's exactly true. I'm sure in the Premier League, if you sign a free agent, they can be registered. So I don't know, man. We actually need to look at the fine print and whatnot around that one there, people. But it is what it is. On that note, though, people, again, I'm gonna love and leave you lot only because I've got just about half an hour until the YouTube live stream. I've prepared everything, but yeah, I'm just gonna give you lot a bit of time to mentally cool off. We haven't got anything more to speak about. I do want another green tea. So yeah, Twitch gang, it's been fantastic. Please make sure you're following and subscribing. I appreciate you lot that are with me in the mornings. I'll be here at 10 a.m. tomorrow, same time. I'll also be here at 4 p.m. to play Football Manager. Like I always say, please check your schedules and hit the reminders. Also, make sure you're following and subscribing on YouTube as well. On that topic, though, hope you're all having a fantastic start to the week and a great Monday. Gonna love and leave you. Catch you lot in half an hour, people. On that note, I'm out.
There's always just that actual red flag, defending.
I think